What's the scariest space fact, mystery in your opinion? A few people have said this, but just the size of space is creepy to me. That far away. But what almost depresses me more, that unlike in Stargate, I will never be able to travel to any of it. Would love to see what's out there. Here's one closer to home. The Kessler effect is the theory that a single destructive event in low Earth orbit could create a cascade where satellites break up into tiny fragments, taking out other satellites, breaking up into smaller fragments, and so on, until the Earth is completely surrounded by a massive cloud of tiny flying death shrapnel, which would make leaving this planet almost impossible. If you look up how much space debris there is already up there and how many satellites currently orbit, plus the continued growth of the commercial space industry, I think about it a lot. Not scary exactly, more unfortunate, if anything, but we'll probably never be able to properly communicate with alien species, given the amount of distance between the planets of our solar system. It's assumed the distance to other universes and galaxies is too far to think about right now. If we receive and send a message right now, by the time we hear a reply back, we would probably be a completely different government and societal system. We would just be constantly introducing ourselves. Moons haunted. Mobile black holes. Ever gone on a road trip and hit a patch where you're just driving for hours and you don't see anything exciting? I've experienced this in Australia, Canada and USA. All very large countries. Imagine doing that for years, traveling to another planet. Vacuum decay is one of the scariest concepts to me. We don't know if it exists, and we won't know until it's too late. The Great Attractor. A thing that affects the motion of galaxies for hundreds of millions of light years. On the surface of Mars right now is a blur. CD God help us if aliens find that first. Voyager 1 will outlive planet Earth. Edit. Wow, didn't expect this post would generate so much interest. Couple of clarifications. First, I was referring to Voyager 1, not 2, so fix that. Which is not to say that Voyager 2 also won't outlive planet Earth. Second, my source mentions that it is plausible to imagine that Voyager 1 will outlive our planet given how incomprehensibly vast space really is. Gamma ray bursts. We could be hit by one of these with very little warning. And if it was reasonably close, in universal terms anyway, could wipe us out rapidly or cause a ton of damage. Dark matter, dark energy. The fact that about 95% of the universe is made up of matter we can't see or detect is pretty unsettling to think about. Also, while not a fact per se, I like to think that perhaps the answer to the Fermi paradox is that there are billions of advanced alien life forms out there, but they are physically unable to reach us due to technological limitations. Perhaps interstellar transport is only theoretical, and any aliens capable of reaching us are unable to do so in an acceptable length of time. Proxima Centauri may take 25 years for unmanned spacecraft to reach us, going 20% the speed of light. But perhaps it's impossible to transport actual life at these speeds without dying. So advanced civilizations have realized the futility of trying to contact other species and have simply given up. Rogue planets. Planets that do not follow any given orbit. They may have been in an orbit at one time, but now they refuse to play by the rules. They were most likely knocked out of their orbit by another body, and now they are set on doing the same. I can't accept the fact that there is no end in space. But if there is indeed an end, then what's beyond it? I'm stuck in absurdity. Edit. In the numerous answers I've received, The one that seems to come back the most is the universe is curved. You would end up back where you started. Seems fair enough. Then again, that wouldn't mean there is no limit. On the contrary, that would just mean we're trapped in, or on the surface of, a sphere. But there is still a limit to this sphere. So the question remains, what's beyond it? The Boots Void. An area of space where there should be 50,000 or so galaxies, compared to other areas of the same size. But there's only about 60. Could just be empty space for some unknown reason. Or it could be an ever-expanding intergalactic empire using Dyson spheres. Also, I think it appears to be growing, but that could just be galaxies moving away from the void. Edit. So it turns out it's 2000 and obviously it's not gonna be aliens, but the theory is still cool AF. I think everything is terrifying about space. And I fucking love it. But one thing it scares me a lot. It's if space is infinite. Imagine what kind of gigantic monster can be in there. The sheer distance between things. It's scary and somewhat depressing. Since the universe is expanding and stars and galaxies are moving away from each other, it's possible that civilizations that spring up in the far future with lonely stars will see an empty sky. Their civilizations will grow and learn, but they will never know the universe that once was. We live in a spectacular time period where we can actually look back in time and see the early universe. Future civilizations won't have that luxury. They'll believe that the universe is, and always was, dark, dead, and empty, aside from their small island of light. There is literally no end to the universe. No matter how long we study it, there will always be stuff that we will never know just because of the vastness of space. What was before the Big Bang? I think it is just impossible for a human to comprehend pure nothing or infinity. I myself had a stroke at age 9 due to a ruptured vertebral artery and lost a third of my visual field. I can confirm that it is not black. A good analogy is it is like what you see behind your head. On the other hand, infinity is so large that if you spent your whole life writing a 1 then zeros on paper, that insane number would still be 0% of infinity. I just think there is no way to fully understand the universe, and there never will be. This is why even ancient societies explained things with gods, because they didn't understand how the reality we live in started, and I don't think we ever will. The fact that a city-killing asteroid can slip through our detection systems and kill millions at any moment. The Great Attractor is kinda ominous. There's an exoplanet with wind that's many times the speed of sound and that rains glass. Another exoplanet that has spent time inside its star. There's a sort of fear that we aren't alone in the universe. Chances are anything we meet won't have remotely similar emotional spectrums that we have. Then there's the horrifying notion that we are alone in that infinite blackness. That we're just a fluke of chemistry that will probably never happen again. Edit. More people have died on Earth than have died on the Sun. Spook. The fact that an asteroid could come at any time. And even though we have the technology to tell us that an asteroid is about to impact Earth, what can we really do about it? Nothing. We can do nothing. We can just sit here, with the media stations telling us what will happen, telling our friends and loved ones goodbye, praying, etc. It sucks. Why do we have the technology that tells us our inevitable doom is days, or even moments, away, but no technology to possibly stop it? Edit. Words. The time-gravity relationship. It freaks me out. It's bigger than anyone could ever hope to comprehend. Heat death. That one keeps me up at night. There could be life, but not in the way we think. like a virus that our immune system simply can't take and we can't cure or make a vaccine for. This was actually thought of before. When the crew from Apollo 11 came back from the moon, they were quarantined for 3 weeks just in case they did have some kind of space virus.